I want to switch a little bit. I'm neither a historian, neither I am a professional diplomat. I'm just a private citizen. I just want to say it this way, just to switch a little bit, I call reflections. And I have several reflections here. And I guarantee you, you have enough time to go to lunch. It'll be very short, but very, very personal. First of all, as provost of St. Thomas University, one of the few Hispanic serving universities in America, I want to take this occasion that I borrow from my friend, my good friend, Director General, to convey my best regards to all Cuban Americans, especially freedom fighters, who are alumni of St. Thomas Villanova in Cuba, Biscayne College in Biscayne, and also St. Thomas University as now. And I understand our chair today actually is an alum of a law school. I want to report to you that your school, if you graduated from there, has been a Tier 1 university and ranked 56th best in the South. I want to congratulate you for your support for the Cuban fighting freedom, and I hope that someday Cuba would be a free country. Second one is, as a benefactor of a boy who was born in China, not near Diaoyutai, and also as an alum of National Taiwan University adopted by Taiwan, I want to express my deepest gratitude to the government and to the people of Taiwan that gave me a chance to be a good student. So today I can live in freedom, prosperity, and democracy. Thank you. That's another reflection. Last thing is an Honored Consul of the Republic of Slovenia. I want to share with you how delighted 2 years ago when I was told as a consul that Croatia and Slovenia came into a mutual agreement to solve the long time coastal territorial dispute through peaceful negotiations, through the third party of the world, that means the World Court. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is how my reflections come from. So with this, I would like to tell you that, keeping in mind, I venture to share some of my own reflections in very simple terms that may represent not only myself, but a lot of citizens who may be American citizens, but came from, originally from Taiwan or China. That the East China Peace Initiative, as hosted and called upon by President Ma Ying-jeou of Republic of China in Taiwan, is something that it would invite many of our thoughts. The East China Sea Peace Initiative was born. I know that you know that already, so I'm not going to repeat. Okay, two wonderful presentations were before me. It was born in the last 60 years. Countries in the Northeast Asia have enjoyed rapid economic development and become a model for other countries around the world. 60 years, 6 decades of peace. All of a sudden, not that long ago, I used the word provoked, of course, provoked by the mayor, the former mayor of Tokyo. He also started that and brought the Japanese government to to nationalize the islands. And that was about 1.5 years ago. 60 years of peace. They know that the territorial solution has never been solved, but people around the region enjoy 60 years of peace. And the Diaoyutai dispute has the potential to jeopardize peace and stability in East Asia. Ladies and gentlemen, that I think no matter who owns those islands, but there's one thing in common. We do not want bombs around. People think that there are a lot of submarines sailing across these islands every day now. But the people who died during the Second World War, especially those who fight for America, they were born, they were buried into the sea. We do not want any children to fall into the sea in that case again. So my reflection personally is, why can't all parties, including USA, don't you forget, when USA returned those things to Japan, did he consult with Republic of China? Of course not. Did he consult with People's Republic? Of course not. At that time, they were not friendly nations yet. 1972. Why can't all parties now continue to sustain peace and economic development in the new millennium? Why let international or internal political agendas dictate the disruption of peace and economic development? I do like to see all the oil tankers can sail through every day. I like to see all the people who want to enjoy tourism to enjoy there. So in other words, personally, I want a new definition, but with a reaffirmation of sustainable peace. And this disruption can bring to, hate to say the word, let's say not war, but non-peace. Turbulence, I call it. Secondly, the position of the Republic of China have said very many times, look, if you can find a word attack, tell me. Because safeguarding sovereignty, shelving disputes, pursuing peace and reciprocity, and promoting joint exploration and development. Second, the dispute over the Diaoyutai must be settled through a multilateral dialogue mechanism. Third, national territorial sovereignty cannot be divided. That's Ma Ying-jeou, President Mars. But he said, natural resources can, however, be shared. So my reflection is, as an American, the ambiguity is safeguarding the sovereignty among parties in the region involved should not become the source of tension. We realize there is a tension, but it cannot be the source of tension, of territorial disputes over the sharing of resources. Ladies and gentlemen, shouldn't we all parties learn from the success story of the North Sea in Europe? This is the fact. North Sea was one time the troublesome spot of many European countries. What they do, they decide one thing. Instead of the fight against each other, they are sharing their resources to develop those, especially the platform of petroleums. Think about this. Despite and also the dispute of unsolvable territorial tension, I understand if China say that it's not our islands, if Taiwan said that's not our islands, if Japan said that's our islands, their prime minister probably stepped down the day after they said that. I understand that. That's reality. But could we temporarily, but permanently? I remember I came to Seattle many years ago. There was a highway called Highway 90 because it was so much construction over years. So the Prime Minister Governor put a sign there. This is temporary, permanent. Just like some of our freeways here. Everyday construction. So I think we can do that. Okay? There's only one Earth. But we can share, as Martin Joe said, resources development. Another one. Position, the same position, but look at another angle, how we reflect it. Since no party would back off from the dispute due to territorial sovereignty, why can't all parties continue to leave the dispute over safeguarding sovereignty aside and continue to cooperate and develop the region as it has been in the past 60 years? What's the hurry to fight? For 60 years. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not afraid to fight. I fight all the time, okay? But you have to fight for justice. The region has enjoyed peace. Why interrupt it? So in other words, it is our citizens' responsibility to say that I wish bilateral cooperation in economics and resources development may diffuse. I say may. I'm not a political scientist, but I've been working under the politics for many, many years. I was a refugee one time from China. So I understand what does it mean by no peace. May diffuse tension and territorial disputes. This is, I call it, the formula of peace for dream. I will take any responsibility if I mispronounce. I changed the word to ease becomes easing. I think that as what I read every day, every month, in the last 1.5 years especially, I have to give a lot of thoughts to this one. All the parties are now trying to easing tensions, calling on all parties concerned to show restraint, shelving controversies and settling the dispute in a peaceful manner, hoping they're reaching a consensus on a code of conduct. I think that the Honorable have some of the printing over there. You can read that. Establishing a mechanism for cooperation on exploring and developing resources, ensuring peace in this region. I think that's all our responsibility. Americans, we cannot run away because we created some of the problem in 1972 when we, the government, Americans, those who hold the American passport understand, we gave the Japanese without consulting all the parties together. Are these wishes too high sounding, as I said, to achieve, or they are just tactical idealisms at work? Why all the involved parties, why don't you give us a chance to explore these wishes, resolving to unpeaceful actions of dispute? And that is why I think that Professor Hasley has shown us how horrible those pictures are. I have not seen those protests, but my friends from China told us, that's irrational. They've gone back to uncivilized country. Okay, when you try to throw the sushi bars into fire, think about this. When you want to crash any of the Japanese-made cars in the streets, that is not patriotism. That's uncivilized behavior. As a Chinese American, I have the responsibility to tell them, don't do that. We can protest. You can explain your opposition to the position. Okay? So all parties need a common sea, I call it. All parties really need a common sea of peace and cooperation, which we had in the last 60 years, to enhance both national and international prosperity and development. Last thing, I know you're hungry now. I call it the formula of peace at work. This is not something we daydream only. I want everyone who love peace, who love America, will start thinking about this. Let's reframing from taking any antagonistic actions. Let's encourage every party. As a matter of fact, when you learn about the three parties, it's more than that. Look at 2 Koreas and Japan. Look at the Philippines and Malaysia last month. And Vietnam. So let's stop. Let's start talking about stop aggressive and nationalistic propagandas. Second one, shelving controversies and not abandon the dialogue. Keep talking to each other in civilized manner. Number 3, observing international law and resolving disputes through peaceful means. Law must be acted above emotion. We have to seek consensus on a code of conduct in the East China Sea. And what are those? In my interpretation of what my engineer said, 3 words: respect. We respect our difference. Recognition. We recognize we are human neighbors. Third, to reaffirm that those wonderful natural resources can be shared. Lastly, establishing a mechanism for cooperation on exploring and developing resources in the East China Sea. In other words, can we just learn from the North Sea experience, turn this East China Sea into a joint venture area for everybody who want to make money, to everyone who want to entertain and recreate, to anyone who want to enjoy a natural peace of sea? I think we can. I want all the leaders of those countries, which someday I hope I can have the life to see them, to think out of the box. Lastly, ladies and gentlemen, this is for us. So we all, including the parties, to give a serious thought over this proposed formula of peace at work. A small country leader, Taiwan, Republic of China, the 14th richest one in democracy in the world now, but it's very small. I hope all the big powers, Japan, China, USA will give them a chance that this thinking, these new initiatives is worthwhile to carry out and to help each other. So let's, from today, to turn the table of foul play into a platform of fair games. Thank you very much.